Hey friends, my name is Anna if you are new here, and I am so glad that you joined me today as we do a little Q&A. So I asked you guys on Instagram and on YouTube if you had any questions for me, and I got quite the response from you guys. So I thought I would answer some of your questions today. You were curious about several different things, and there's been a lot of videos where I kind of wanted to go deeper into some things, but I wasn't able to. So today we're gonna do that, and I have funky lighting again because every time I have a sit-down video, it's a rainy, foggy day. So I don't have good lighting again today. So sorry that this is not great lighting, but this is the best we can do today. I have like 100 children in my house today. So the fact that I'm even being able to film in quiet right now is a miracle. So the first question is kind of a deep one. It was, do you feel like the church does a good job of fulfilling Titus 2, 3 through 5? And if you look at Titus 2, it talks about the older women being reverent in behavior, not slanderers, not drinking too much wine. They're to teach what is good and to train the younger women to love their husbands and their children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind and submissive to their husbands. And so if I'm being totally honest, I don't think that the church does a very good job of teaching this or following through with it. And it's really sad because I have several older women in my life that I look up to so much, and they have really impacted my life. My mom especially, and my mother-in-law especially. They have impacted my life in such a beautiful way and really have fulfilled Titus 2 for me. And I know a lot of women who do that, but I don't think that it's common in the church. Like, there's not a lot of women doing that. You may find one or two that are kind of want to take you under their wing and kind of teach you and mentor you, but there's just not a lot of that, honestly. And it's really sad. And I honestly think it comes from maybe like a insecure place. I know a lot of the women that I have known that don't do that, I feel like that's probably the reason, is that maybe they just don't feel like they know enough, or they just are not confident in their ability to teach and train and help the younger moms. But they are out there. So I think if you search them out and find them, and then be willing to accept their teaching and their mentorship and their discipleship, then I think you can find them. I think a lot of it also is that they are afraid to step in because people get defensive about that and people get offended. And it is something that I'm sure they're a little bit scared to kind of, oh, should I talk to you about staying at home? Should I talk to you about loving your husband? And I don't know if it's my place. So that's really all I would have to say about that. Is I think that those women are out there, and I think they are willing to help. We just have to be good at accepting help and asking for help. And that is a big one for us moms. The next question is talking about routines. I guess cleaning routines, not vegging out on the couch, and how to start decluttering. I have several videos I've done in the past about how I do my cleaning routine, so I'm not really going to go into that. I'll just briefly tell you that the way I do that is I just try to clean a little bit each day. And I have like a schedule on my fridge, and honestly, lately I have not been sticking to that. I just kind of clean when things get dirty and when I have the time. So I may have it scheduled to clean the bathrooms on Thursday, but I need to do it on Wednesday, or I can only do it on Friday. And so I just kind of do it as I have time, but I definitely don't clean like the whole house in one day usually, unless I'm throwing like a party or something like that. And decluttering, just start. This says how to start decluttering. I mean, just start. Pick one room in your house, set a timer for 20 minutes, and get as much decluttered in that one room as you can in those 30 minutes. And then the next day, do it again. Maybe finish that room if you didn't finish that room. Maybe start on a new room. But just take it slow. Do it in bite-sized chunks. And that always really helps me. If I feel like I have to do like an entire room in one day, I get a little bit overwhelmed. I usually end up doing that anyways, but it's still overwhelming to start with. And if you're not someone that really enjoys doing that, I definitely think setting timers helps a lot. Okay, how to start sourdough. Y'all, I really love sourdough. I'm so passionate about it, and I think it's just a beautiful way to love our families, to slow us down, and to learn a fun new skill that really can bless other people, and something that you can pass down to your kids on teaching them how to do that. And it's also really, really good for you. It's so good for your gut. And if you're gluten intolerant, a lot of people can still eat sourdough bread because it is easier to digest. Not if you're celiac, but if you're just like sensitive to gluten, a lot of people do not find that they are sensitive to sourdough. So the way I got started is I asked on my homeschool co-op page. I said, listen, I know you guys, somebody in here has got to be a sourdough person, and if you have a starter, could I please get some of your starter? And I had multiple people reach out and be like, yes, I have starter, I would love to give it to you. And so I got some starter from a friend. I used hers because I had tried to start it myself like a year before that and was not successful. So I got it from a friend, and that time I was very successful. The biggest thing I found was making the batter thick enough and using filtered water. And it also matters the type of flour that you use. I use the organic kind from Costco, all purpose, and I love it. And I've had great success with that flour. I've also used King Arthur flour and had really good success with that too. I've tried kamut, and I hate kamut. It is disgusting. I would just say reach out. You could even ask on Facebook or something like that and see if you can get a starter from somebody. Or you can start yours from scratch if you want to. Or I know that like Ballerina Farms sells one that's like dehydrated that you can buy on her website. I really found the Farmhouse on Boone YouTube channel to be super helpful with, she has a ton of videos on there about sourdough and how to do it and the timing of it all. But honestly, y'all, the biggest thing is just trial and error. That's the biggest way I learn, is just figuring it out by trial and error. Trying something, if it doesn't work, I try something else, and figuring out what recipe works best. Also, the climate that you live in affects your sourdough a lot, and the time of year affects it. So there's multiple factors that come into play with it, and so it's not the same for every single person. So like if you're someone that lives in the really cold north and I'm somewhere that lives down here in the south in the humidity, our sourdoughs are probably going to be completely different as far as how they react, how the fermentation process goes, and all of that. So you really just have to start it and then just keep trying it until you find your groove. Okay, someone wants to know what's my posting schedule look like, and what are my favorite kinds of videos to upload, and what's my favorite thing about homeschooling. Okay, so I'll answer the posting schedule. I just try to post on Thursdays. That seems to be when most of you guys are on YouTube, so that's why I changed it to Thursdays. It also gives me a little bit more time because I try to film my videos usually on the weekends or early in the week. And that gives me a little bit more time to edit and get them up for you guys. And I'm not very good at getting much of it done ahead of time. So usually these videos are done a few days before or the weekend before, and then I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I am trying to film this one kind of ahead of time because as the holidays are approaching, I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of the game, but that doesn't usually happen, unfortunately. My favorite kind of videos, honestly, I think they're like day in the lives. Like I love to do the creative part where I like show you guys the leaves outside and I show you me pouring my coffee and cooking. I love those videos. I love to show you my kids. I love videoing them and get to edit their sweet little faces. But I just really enjoy the creativity part of those kind of videos. These kind of videos, there's not much creativity about it because I'm just sitting here talking to you guys, even though these are usually helpful and informative. They're not my favorite, but they are a lot easier to edit because there's less footage. When I do a day in the life, sometimes I have hours and hours and hours of footage to go through. So the editing process on that is longer, but I'm enjoying it more because it's more creative. My favorite thing about homeschooling is just the flexibility of it all. Like the fact that we can take a day off if we're just not feeling it, if family come in town, if someone gets sick, if we just want to go on a field trip, we can do all that and we're in control of all that, and I love that so much. I also have really loved getting to see the relationships that have been built through homeschooling and the amount of time that we all get to spend together each day. Like, especially the relationship between the siblings has been really sweet to watch grow, and the relationships between me and my kids that I know wouldn't be as strong if they were gone all day long. But since I'm with them so much, I get more time with them and I really get to know them better, and it's been really, really sweet. There's some days that's a negative and it's really hard because they're here all day and they're driving me crazy. But for the most part, I really enjoy being with them and homeschooling them, even on the really, really hard days. And there are a lot of those. Okay, best resources when starting to homeschool preschoolers. So I think you can totally homeschool a preschooler without a curriculum. And that's what I did for my first time homeschooling a preschooler. We didn't even have a curriculum. I just bought some of those little books from like Walmart that are like, they're just the little pre-K books where they're practicing tracing and letters and things like that. And then we would just read a lot of books. We would do a lot of like learning hands-on things and games and songs. Really don't need a curriculum for pre-K, but what I am using this year for Emmy is the Good and the Beautiful pre-K curriculum, and I really love it. And I don't think you need it. You can definitely do it without it, but it's really affordable, and it's been so fun to do that with her. We did a little bit of it last year, and we're kind of finishing it up this year. It has beautiful songs that go along with it that teach them their alphabet and their letter sounds, and it's really good for all types of learners, kinesthetic, hands-on, visual learners, like every kind of learner it's really good for, because they kind of touch on all of those different learning styles. And it's very easy to do, it's very quick, and it has helped her a lot. Like, she has learned a ton from that. So I really recommend that one. And I believe you can even get it as a PDF download, so it's very affordable even that way. I recommend buying the physical copy of it though, but that is an option if you need to do that. I know a lot of people who live overseas can't afford to pay the shipping for it and all that, so PDF definitely works if that's your only option, but I like having the physical copy better. Okay, what's your kid's schedule to go to bed? I'm not totally sure I understand that question, but I think maybe you mean like, when do they go to bed and kind of what our evening routine is. And so my kids go to bed at 7:30, sometimes 8. Now, we usually go to church 2 nights a week, and on those nights they get into bed between like 9 to 10:30, anywhere between there. But on a normal night, they are getting in the bed around 7:30 or 8 at the latest. We've done this from the very beginning. Even my oldest, who is 10, he still goes to bed at 7:30. He doesn't always fall asleep till probably closer to 8:30, but he's in the bed trying to fall asleep. Sometimes we let him stay up a little bit later, 8 or 8:30. But for the most part, they kind of all are winding down at that time. A lot of times with my older 2 boys, who are 7 and 10, I let them go in their room, and they have a Yoto player. And so I'll let them like play with Legos or read or draw and listen to their Yoto player for like 20 or 30 minutes. So sometimes they're in their room by 7:30, but they don't actually get in the bed to start going to sleep until closer to 8. But my younger 2 religiously are in the bed at 7:30 going to sleep. And that has been wonderful. We've done that from the very beginning. They usually will all sleep till about 6:30 to 7:30. In the evenings, they we eat dinner, they get a bath. We usually do family devotions and just hang out as a family a little bit, and then they're in the bed. And my husband and I have usually until 7:30 till about 10 to spend time together. Sometimes I'll edit and do some work. Sometimes we will watch a movie and chill out together or eat a snack, and we love that. And it has really been a huge way that we've been able to have a really strong marriage and strengthen our relationship as a couple, is by having that time in the evenings with no kids. Okay, how do I fit everything into my day? Routines: cleaning, cooking, homeschool, personal time. Okay, so first let's start by saying I don't fit everything in every single day. I don't do it all. Sometimes it looks like that on my days in the life, but remember, you're only seeing portions of that day, okay? And you're seeing me on my best day usually too, because I'm not going to get on here and show you when like the kids are driving me crazy and I'm like hiding in my closet eating chocolate. For the most part, I do have a very productive day just about every day. Some days I don't. Some days I'm like, you know what? I am not doing anything today. I'm tired and I don't feel like doing a lot. And if we just get homeschool in, that's about as good as it's going to get. We're going to pick up Chick Chick-fil-A and that's it. So I do have those days, but for the most part, I'm a pretty productive person. And so I get up in the morning, I set my alarm usually between 6 and 6:30. I get up and have my quiet time. The kids are not allowed to come upstairs until 7:30. They have an alarm that goes a little off. So if they wake up before then, they can hang out in their room, read books, do whatever they want to do as long as they're quiet, but they don't come upstairs until 7:30. That way I get my quiet time in. I usually spend like 20 to 30 minutes in the Word and praying and reading my Bible. And then I spend usually about 20 minutes kind of prepping for the day, working in my calendar. Sometimes I need to like do a quick post on Instagram. Sometimes I'll make sure that everything's ready to go for my YouTube video that day, just different things like that. Sometimes I'll start on their breakfast, like if I'm making oatmeal or something hot, I'll try to kind of get that going before the kids get up. And then after that, a lot of days I will get a workout in, I'll eat some breakfast. I've done a whole day in the life, so you guys know what I do. But I'll eat some breakfast. Usually the kids eat their breakfast while I do my workout. And then they all start on chores and their warm up, and I get dressed for the day, start on any like house chores that I need to do before school starts. If I need to get dinner like in the crock pot or feed my sourdough starter, I'll do kind of all that beforehand. I'll throw in some laundry, and then we do school, we do lunch. After lunch, I really try to take kind of a rest time for a minute. Usually we do have to do like science or history or one more little lesson with the kids after lunch. So I'll do that, and then I put my 2-year-old down for his nap, and then I'll usually come in here and I'll do some laundry. And while I'm doing that, I'll watch a YouTube video or I'll listen to a podcast. And then sometimes I just lay on my bed after I'm done folding laundry and kind of just rest for a minute, just kind of unwind. Sometimes I'll scroll Instagram, but just kind of just rest just a little bit before I have to start doing the cleaning chores and getting the food ready for dinner. Usually around 2 to 3 o'clock, I'll start doing any like cleaning that I need to do, vacuuming, cleaning the bathrooms, dusting, cleaning the kitchen. And then I'll start working on dinner prep. I try to get like as much as I can for dinner prep done ahead of time if it's a meal that I can do that with. And then that way I don't have so much to do like right at 5 o'clock when we're trying to get dinner on the table. And then I've already told you guys about our evening routine. We eat dinner. I usually take a bath after dinner, and that's another little rest time I have during the day to kind of just relax and spend some alone time. And I do that for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then we put the kids down. And I already told you guys what all I do after that. That's kind of my routines. Like I said, I don't always fit everything in. Like I'm not going to clean the whole house and homeschool the kids and get dinner on the table. Like if I got to clean the whole house, more than likely dinner on the table that night is not happening. So that's going to be like a Chick-fil-A night or something like that. Or if I have a lot of cooking to do during the day, like if I'm getting ready for a party or a church event, then homeschool sometimes takes the back burner. So something is always suffering. I don't get every single thing done every single day. So that's why you don't see me post a lot on social media, because that's just one area in my life I realize is not a necessity. And so I don't worry about that part too much. And so my Instagram account is not that great, and it's not like thriving because that's just not a priority for me right now. So there's different things like that, and you go through seasons too where different things are a priority in different seasons. But anyways, guys, I think I'm going to stop it there. Thank you guys so much for sending in all of your questions. I hope this video was fun and helpful. I really enjoy getting to know you guys. I would love to hear in the comments below maybe what time your kids go to bed and how that works for your family. That would be fun to chat with you guys about that. And please be sure that you give this video a thumbs up before you head out, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's a free way you can support me, and it really means so much to me. And I will see you guys back here next time for another video. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.